Hey there! Today I wanted to do a bit of a different video. I wanted to create a tutorial on how to design a save system in Godot 4.1 because when Godot updated to version 4, this save system or the way you coded the save system changed a bit, and so I wanted to create a video that can be used as a reference for other game developers as well as myself. So let's just jump into it. Here we have a simple scene I created. We have some platforms and we have a player, and this player uses the default movement template which is in Godot 4.1. So when I just launch this game, it's pretty standard. You can move left and right and you can jump. That's basically it, nothing too crazy. Alright, so let's get started. First, when I code a save system, I like to do it in a global script. The way we do this is go into project settings, into auto load, and then adding a global script. There we go. And we just open this, and here it is. Alright, so first we need a couple of variables. Today I want to save two different variables, the player's X position and the player's Y position. You could save these in a vector, which would be the smart choice, but I want to show how to save two or even more different variables, so that's why I am not doing that. I am saving these two variables in separate, variables, basically. Alright. So, first off, we need to create these variables in our global script. So I'll just assign 0 to both of them. And then, of course, we need to create a path for our save file. So every Godot project has a default user folder. You can open that user data folder by going to project and open user data folder. And as you can see, I already have a save file, but I'll delete that. It was a different earlier, just an attempt. So this is what your user data file should look like. Okay, the way you access this path is pretty simple. I just save the file path in a constant. Let's call it save file. Is just user. I'll just zoom in for you a little bit. Yes. Then double slash. And then you just type whatever you want your save file to be named as. I'll just go with save file.dat. Okay. Then we also need to create a dictionary. We are going to store all of our variables in this dictionary. I'll just call it data, and we'll leave it empty for now. Alright. Let's start with the loading function first. So let's call it load data. And of course, if we just want to open this file and read it, we wouldn't be able to do that because, as we saw earlier, in the user data folder, the file doesn't exist yet. So we need to check if the file exists, and then if it doesn't, we need to create that file. So the way we are going to do that is if not file access.file exists. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. And then we need to specify the path. So save file, because we store the path in a constant. So if that file doesn't exist, we'll need to assign all values to our data dictionary. So I'll just write the same name as is the variable in the original script, and here you can write the default values. These are going to be the values that are going to get assigned to the player when you create a new save file. So as you can see, our player currently is in the x32y416 position, so I am going to assign 32 to x plus and 416 to y. Okay, I'm just going to assign them here as well. It's fine if you don't, I just like it better. Alright, now that that is complete, now that we've assigned everything to the data dictionary, we will need to save this. So but of course we don't have a save function yet, so let's go ahead and design that next. So save data. So first we need to open our file and tell our program that tell our script that we want to read that file. The way we are going to do that is var file. This can be anything, just file is the most convenient name, equals file access dot open, and of course our path. And now we need to specify whether we want to read or write it, and because we are saving the data, we are going to write this file. Okay, then we need to customize our data dictionary. We set the expos to be the x position variable and the y position to be the y position variable. Yes, and that's basically it. And then we are going to store this data dictionary. The way we're going to do that is file dot store underscore var and then data. And in Godot 4, it officially closes the file for you, but I still like to close it after this function, just, you know, to be certain. The way you can close that file is file equals to null. Alright, that's basically our save function. So now we are going to complete the load function. So this, what I have written here, this, if the file already exists, the save file, then this if wouldn't run. So it would just skip over this. So the next what we are going to do is basically the same as in our save function. We are going to open our file, but open save file, but instead of writing, we are going to read it. Of course, we are loading data, and then what we need to do is data equals file dot get var. So this basically loads what is in the file into the data dictionary. And now we can just set all of our variables. We have the x and y position variable. So we'll just say that x position should be equal to the x position variable in the data dictionary. And same with the y position. And of course, just close your files. Okay, so now we have our save and load functions done. Now all we need to do is tell the program to load these files when it launches. And I am going to write that in the ready function, and I'm going to write that ready function in the global script, because if I could write that in like if I had a menu, then the menu or just the main scene right now. But in a game where there are multiple scenes, you don't want it to load the data every time you open a said scene. So that's why I think it's better to just write it into the global script. It just runs once and then that's it. So ready, just load data, that's it. Alright, so now that's basically this part done. Now we need to go into our player and do a couple of things there. So I am going to I want to create a function which quits the game when I press the escape, but before quitting it saves the game. I want this to be, as I said, done when I press the escape key. So for that I just need to go to the input map real quick, add the esc action, and then escape. Yes. Alright, so I'm going to write this in the process function. If input dot is action just pressed and escape, then I want to save. The way I do that is global dot save data, and then I want to quit, so get 3 dot quit. That is it. And now one more thing. If I just launch the game right now, as you can see, we can still move around and such. If we press escape and then launch the game again, nothing happens. That's because even though we loaded the file right here, these variables just get assigned numbers, but the player doesn't do anything with these variables. So we need to tell the player what those variables in the global script mean. I'm going to do that in the ready function. So ready, our x position should be equal to the x position in the global script, and x pos, yes, and then our y position should be equal to, global dot y position. I just typo. Okay. Yes, and just one more thing. We also, before saving, we need to assign again these variables, just the opposite. So just let me show you. So global dot x pos is equal to position dot x, and global dot y position is equal to position dot y. So in theory this should work. I hope so. Just capital P's. And yes, it launches the game. So let's see if I just move here, quit, and then, oh, I quit incorrectly. I need to quit with the escape key. So if I just move here, escape, and then launch it again, it stayed in the same position. So that's basically our save system done. As you can see, even if I jump and quit midair, I should be able to just launch the game, and the character was still midair when I did that. So yeah, that is the save system. Yeah, pretty basic. Now one more important thing is you can just create a function. I like to create a separate function in this global script for wiping data, for deleting a save. I'll just quickly show you how. So let's just call it wipe function. Basically we are just going to copy these default values right here, and then we are going to save. That's very simple. It's just the same as this little section, this, but I still like to write it in a separate function because I usually like to include the delete data button in my games. So yeah, that was it. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, and consider supporting me on Patreon. It helps a ton. Until then, goodbye and take care.